Hello and welcome to Spiral Up. My name's Campbell, and today we have with us Joe again for another weekly tarot, twisted tarot with a twist reading. And what a week it's been. This is actually about my third take trying to do this intro, and I'm still not being able to do it. So hopefully Joe's got some information that the next week or the coming week will not be as hectic as the last, but as we know, we're in clown world, so never say never, right?
Yeah.
Welcome, Joe.
I think we say it every time. Just go with the flow. Try not to hold on too tight to what's happening.
Oh my God, it's
insanity. So we both had intense weeks, and let's have a look what's going to come for next week. I'll do some shuffling of the Rider-Waite's, and I'll do the 222, which will give us that sort of a summary, comparison, whatever, for the cards. Ashteo zukeo to kombochiatsa. Izu tayashoshiatsa komoyotso. Izeke kokatsia. They're saying how brave you are, Campbell. Estu jesu kambatsie. Ezutishushia namakikoya, ezuteshashiatsa. Izekeko kambatsi, estuye suye, akukayacha, esusteo jujia namikikakama, ezutashia. How brave we all are. We are in intense, like the image I get is in wearing a washing machine that's doing this.
It's just a time machine, though.
So, don't hold on to the sides. Just let yourself be moved with it. Oh my God.
Exactly.
We're a little bit insane here today, guys.
It is.
Goodness me.
And this is, of course, Sunday evening when we're recording. So yesterday was the new moon. So, and people have been seeing lights in the sky everywhere. Stars that are flashing. The triangles are here. Building up for something. And also this week we hit the date 11/11.
Yeah we do.
Let's see what it's going to do to us.
Okay, so I'm going to do the unicorns as well. Just pull out one of the unicorns.
And are they like the fairy cards? How are they different?
These were created by, oh gosh, I've forgotten the lady's name. She's no longer in, she's moved from spirituality to New Age to more traditional spirituality and religion. Doreen Virtue, that's it. It's just come to me. So she has the unicorn cards, and these are really cards for children. So the messages are very, very simple, but it just gives me, whenever I do another reading, a reading for a client, I use these as an underlying message. So it's a simple, it's not complicated, a simple little phrase that sort of gives you another perspective on the reading.
Is that like an inner child perspective, or?
Not really, it's not necessarily inner child, it's just simplistic, not overly complicated. Cool. All right, and I'm actually also going to do one card from the Gaia Oracle cards, and so we haven't used these before, and they're more of an oracle card, which gives you a little bit more they have a little phrase, and then they have a part that sort of gives a greater description. So let me pull out one of these and we'll look at that at the end. So they're dropping everywhere.
Because oracles, did oracles used to be people, or were they more just?
Yeah, I suppose an oracle is like a seer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
it's somebody, a seer, to see the future, to see what is coming.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the unicorn card is to just be yourself. So again, see, there's a child on the unicorn. So it's nothing really technical. It's just saying, be yourself. You are a great person. Enjoy being yourself. So simple, such a little kid's card. So in looking at this spread, this week, people are going to be faced with a choice this week. This is the Seven of Cups. So in light of the entire spread, this is about a choice. We are going to have to make a choice this week. And it relates to that card of just being yourself. Because the second card in that first bit is the Queen of Swords, which is being truthful, being honest. So the choice, when we are faced with this choice may not go down well with other people. This choice is something that you have to look within into your heart to see, what is it I really want? What is it that is going to lift me and be true to me and true to just being who you are? So this choice, it could be a new road or a doorway or an opportunity. So you're going to have to say honestly what it is that you want. Now, when you make a choice for you, despite what everybody else thinks, when you make a choice for yourself, it is an act of self-love. And the second card, the first card in the second group is this card, which is the Knight of Cups. So for me in this spread, this is redefining love. Redefining what makes us lovable, valuable, and worthwhile. So when you're looking at this choice, we're often choosing a choice or going along with the crowd or doing what we think we should because somehow it's tied up in what we learned as a kid. Now, we have to look at our choices and say, did I really want that to be my choice, or did I just grow up within that choice? And when you are checking in with your heart, you're actually going beyond the program or finding another part of yourself beyond the program that allows you to find what it is you truly want, what it is that is your heart's desire. So when you realize you're lovable because you exist, not because you fit in with that or do this and be accepted by these people, it's an act of self-love, and you begin to redefine what makes you lovable. The second card in that middle one is this, and this is when you start to find that self-love, when you start to redefine lovability within you, it stands you in good stead. It puts you in an advantageous position, because we're just sort of on an autopilot doing what we think we should do. So the choice that's coming up this week is an opportunity to stop before you just go and do what you think you should do or what everybody else is doing. Stop for a minute and ask, what would I normally do in this situation? What would I normally say? How would I normally act? And in that moment, go back and see how this comes up or how this has been a part of your life as you've, moved through life, and see if you can see where it may be originated. Ishottako se etusteo so et sa akukamba at sie tusteo sukumboyotsoya. Ize kaya choko asteo jujianda bikeka. Ize tustaya asie tusteo ste zuziena nyakaka ezutoyo shoshia. So the example that I like to give about this autopilot is, if you talk to somebody that's racist, they don't like a skin color, they don't like a religion, they don't like a nationality. And they may maim or kill for that belief. Now, what that racist has never asked themselves is, did I always believe this? And if not, who told me to believe this? Because little kids never see skin color. Little kids don't see religion or nationality. They just see another being to play with. And it's us as adults that overlay those concepts on. And so therefore they grow up and believe that's it. So the truth is, we are all like that racist in a way, in that we are living and breathing concepts that we never actually chose. Now, that's an extreme example. Absolutely, it's extreme. But I think it should give everybody pause to go, why do I think the way that I do? Now, it's not that you throw everything out and run amok. You actually just look, well, why do I think this is a good choice and that's a bad choice? Why do I think, for example, a university education is the be all and end all when being a farmer is not much, it's just, it's necessary, etc., but it's not anything to aspire to. And yet the opposite is true for other people. So it's to look at the choices you make, that why do you choose them, and do some sort of analysis, some assessment of what your family concepts were, what you grew up in. I would have to say that most people have never asked those questions. And it's because we're so busy. It's because we're struggling to survive. It's because we've got to pay the mortgage or get the kids to school or to sport. So it's sort of, the world is set up for us never to ask these questions.
Exactly. Yes. And I mean, that's it really, isn't it? I mean, that's what we've got to learn to do, is make choice. That's what this whole last 2 years have been about. What choice are you going to make, and why? Yeah. And is it really a choice? Because if it's not really a choice, then you're going to fold. Like people go, you'll be able to be swayed. But if it's a real choice, then you'll stand your ground, whatever.
Yeah.
So, when we make choices, we think we're making choices, but we're not really. We're just running a program, because every choice is within the box that we build, around ourselves, as good or bad, right or wrong. You can go there or you can't go there, all these things. So when we make a choice, it's just such a limited choice, we limited ourselves. So yeah, time to go inside and question, why do you make the decisions you do? It's time to act instead of react, because that's what the world wants you to do. It wants you to react. But of course, we know where that leads, and that just leads in circles. So big. Now, do you know, is this a big choice, like a mankind choice, or is this everyone's going to have individual choices?
Well, I think it's the microcosm of the macrocosm.
Both, of course. It's
both. And the thing is, yeah, that's right. It's this whole thing that if the more each one of us can be honest and really look at our choices and why we make them, that strength, that confidence, that empowerment that happens ripples out and helps other people to make the best choice for them as well. So it's sort of it moves out amongst the people. And I've actually been looking at all of the videos that are online of all the marches in Australia.
Yeah, I know.
And oh my God, when singing that We Are Australian, I'm just like bawling. I'm so proud of us.
And this is the other thing, is the media, they're still pushing, still trying to make everyone believe, oh no, there's no one on the streets. And if there is, it's only like, 500, badly dressed people or something. But they're everywhere. Like I was on Telegram, and the one in was it I think, was it at the border or in Brisbane? I think it was at the border.
The border.
And it just showed that street. And there must have been, what, 20,000 people on that street or something more?
Yeah.
Just, so this is happening. And a lot of us have made a choice, I guess, but I mean, there's always more choices to make. So yeah, it's time to redefine who you are. You know, who do you think you are? Who are you really? And are you willing to, you know, be yourself? Because we all have this persona that we, you know, give to the world, that we hide behind, and then we go home and we have this other personality that we sort of pretend we are, but below that is who we really are. So time to start digging and throwing off the masks, right?
Well, what happens is we, as you were just saying, we're on autopilot, and that autopilot is part of our survival mechanism. It's part of being in the tribe of the family belief system. So when you go to make a different choice, or you choose to make a different one, you will find hesitation and reluctance and fear. But I just want to assure everybody that it's not coming from the adult self-aware. It's really coming from your inner child that's afraid to buck the system, is afraid to defy parents. And so this, in my experience, it's who really is afraid to make a different choice is a little aspect of you that knew that the way to survive, the way to get on, the way to not make mum and dad unhappy was to comply and to be part of the crowd. Yeah.
And even from school, you know, with little kids, if one of the little kids does something different, you know, everyone turns on them and says, you're different. Yeah. And so it's built in to so many people that they don't want that feeling, and they may not even know or remember that event, but it's still in them. So that they don't want to step outside the lines. So I think of the Truman Show, and when he's watching the road and he finally realizes that, hang on, this is a script, and he starts going, look, this car will come by and this car, and he goes, yes. And what does he do? He starts acting, just doing random stupid stuff, and it breaks the system. It literally breaks the system. And because what he does is he realizes it's a game, and he can do whatever he wants. And when he does that, everyone in the game is like, oh my God, and the game breaks.
So when we all start making different choices and stand up, the game will break. The game will break. Will crack.
And we'll be able to get through and create a different collective reality. And that's what we're starting to see. It really is starting to fall apart. So hang on to your hats. I think we say every week, don't we?
So let me just say though that you know, there are many kids model themselves on their parents. So this is what I was saying. We're on autopilot for that. But there are a certain percentage of kids who rebel and do the opposite. So, you know, if it's an academic family, they will rebel and become a beach bum, you know, surf up and down the coast and not get any education.
Yeah, travel up and down the East Coast as a hippie, maybe, who knows.
But that too is a reaction to the program. Yeah. So the rebels out there need to look out, why am I a rebel? Why was I the black sheep of the family? Because you're not really choosing to be the rebel. Yeah. You're complying or doing that in response to the program that you were raised in. So maybe for the rebel, it's to come back in alignment. Maybe for the conformist, it's to come back and make your own choice.
Oh, but I don't even like the sound of those words. You're saying I shouldn't be a rebel. Are you saying I should be a normie? That feels
No. It's to, you can still be the rebel, but understand.
That's built in me.
If you're doing it,
it's it can be a reaction.
It's a reaction. It's not a choice. It's a reaction.
It's a reaction. It's just choosing the polar opposite to what you've been presented with, which isn't a choice. That's what the government do, right? Right, left, you know, all this kind of stuff. So you think you've got a choice, but you don't really. So it's a good point. It's those words just but so don't get rid of your rebelness, but just maybe wonder or look into what activities that makes you do and why, like, is it helping you? Is it helping anyone? Or are you just sort of really, doing the same as everyone else, just in a different shirt? Because that's what we find a lot of the time is everyone's just playing their part, even the rebels, just in a different script.
Yep.
All right. So anything else to add there, Joe?
Yes, because there's two.
Oh, we still got 2 cards. All right.
Yeah, we do. We were just in the middle. No. This is good. Okay. So if you find yourself stuck in this choice situation, if you find yourself unable to choose, unable to move forward, have a look at what wounds you are carrying from the past. This guy is holding all of these swords and he's looking backwards. He's looking into the past. So it's exactly what we have just been saying. Look at why you've made the choices to be either a rebel or to model yourself on your parents. When you're having difficulty making a choice, it's because there's you're in conflict in a way between what you really want and what you think you want or you should want. So if you're stuck and unable to choose here, then definitely have a look at the past, have a look at the beliefs and we're dragging these pains and these things along with us and they're influencing how we're unfolding each moment in front of us.
Definitely.
So it's essentially to do a little bit more analysis in the moment if you're having trouble choosing. Now, the last one is called the message.
Oh, this is Gaia?
Yeah. So the message is, I haven't got my glasses on, I need them. Positive news, positive outcome.
Nice.
So I'll read the little thing because it's...
Oh, because this is the oracle, yes.
This is the oracle. Now, again, if I can read it. The anxious wait is nearly over, and a time of celebration is near. You will soon receive good news. This may come from a land far away, or it may come from someone close to you. In any case, an issue of major importance has a positive outcome. This may relate to you or someone dear to you. What a relief. You can now rest easy in the knowledge that all is well. Thank the universe for this blessing and give thanks to the earth and stars also. Sorry about that, stars. Whatever, winkling little guys up there.
Yep, whatever they are.
Remember that our lives are forever held in their eternal embrace. Whether we know it or not, we are surrounded always by unconditional love. So that's an incredibly, and now I absolutely swear these are all genuinely just pulled
completely random. Like, yes. How is that? And of course 11/11 this week, and there've been so many dates given out, of course, but a lot of people said Red October and then something will happen. So is it? Well, the thing is, we that's up to us, right? We get to choose. Will it happen? Will it be a good outcome, or will it not be? That, like, it really is up to us, and we can really break the matrix by making different decisions. Or we can sit in front of the telly again every night and watch the news and take that in and become more of their story and more part of their story. Or we can go, bugger that, let's crack it, slip through the cracks to the new earth and do it that way. Because that's the only way things change, right? If nothing changes, nothing changes.
That's right. It's the microcosm of the macrocosm.
It is.
We have to make the changes in our own lives.
Exactly. Wow, very nice. And of course, don't focus on the past, guys. We're going forward. The past is a teacher, not a prophet. So it's there to teach you, where'd you go right, where'd you go wrong, how can you do things better? It's not there to judge you or to shame you. And remember, all these things in the past, time, skews things. When we remember them, we're not remembering them as they actually were. So don't get too fixated. If all these, if you think that, people were bullying you and all this stuff and you had all these bad experiences, what can you learn from that? Because the truth is we can't even really prove the past exists when you get down to it. You
Well,
really can't. But obviously the makeup of what your past is you. So it exists that way. But that's the way we view it, I guess. We've just got to go in and get a different perspective, and we can use it differently, the energy.
Well, quantum mechanics says that you can go back to that moment in your mind and rewrite it.
Yeah.
So if you're on some sort of an inner journey, you can, in meditation, go back and appear in that scene and rewrite it. And everything's happening at once.
Exactly.
It's not linear. You can rewrite it. So have a go, play with that.
Exactly. And what it says is when you do that, literally it'll change it from that point. So in that split second, your whole life changes because you haven't been carrying it from whatever point. So I've got a video coming up with Howdy this week, everyone. So make sure you check it out. And we actually talk about is changing the past to change the future, like doing it backwards, because they were also fixated on just, the future, that we forget to look at our lessons and what's inside us. And maybe if we go back and change that, maybe that's an easier way to change the future.
Well, the question that I've been asked once, how do you remember? How do you know that the morning you remember is actually the morning you went through? You don't, because you could have shifted and quantum leapt other realities. And what you're on a different timeline because you've gone back, rewritten that moment, and everything coming forward is shifted.
Yeah.
So it's constantly, we've got opportunities all the time to leap to other frequencies and other realities. We just have to know we can do it and get off our butts and do it.
Yeah. Be brave enough and trust enough to give it a go.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen, right? I mean, especially now, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, if not
nothing
now,
left to lose.
when? If not now, when? Freaking hell. So,
exactly.
So these beings will help you do it if you ask them. They will be with you. Just call for assistance from whomever you believe in. If it's a higher self, it's angels, if it's the galactics, if it's whomever, just ask for help in processing and changing this past, because you're making the effort, you will get the assistance. And that's what it is to be a creator God. And when you do that, that's going to start you on a road much grander than you could ever imagine, because it's putting you back in the driver's seat of your life. Be like a little child and have fun with it. Totally. Bring in somebody that you love, bring in somebody that you trust, and let them help you as a little kid in that moment.
Nice. So there you go. Big choices. So listen to your heart, guys. Listen to your inner child and be brave with your decisions. So yes, we'll leave Joe's links below. Joe does private readings as well. If you want one, there'll be a link below. Mention Autodidactic, let her know that where you've come from. And also Joe is doing every weekend a weekend reading. So make sure you go and subscribe to her channel so you don't miss those as well. And of course, we'll be back next week with another reading, Tarot with a Twist. And we hope you have an amazing week for the coming clown show.
Yes, and I'm beginning, the title Twisted Tarot is beginning to grow on me.
Twisted Tarot. I keep messing up the title. I keep calling it Twisted Tarot, but every time I do it, it sounds like one of those kids shows from the 80s. You know, those sort of Yes. And also, guys, sorry, but my hair and makeup they've been on strike for the last week. So I will have less hair when we next see you. All right. So thank you, Joe. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Have an amazing week. And we'll talk to you all next week for the next Twisted Tarot with a tarot with a twist.
Bye.
All right. Do an intro.
Okay.
With my God.
Makeup. Both of us have been through a lot.
Yeah. Hello and welcome. It's been a heavy week. We're calling it. Hello and welcome. My name's Campbell, and this is Spiral Up channel, where that's just completely stuffed that up, didn't I? There was an auto. How do I intro Spiral Up? So what a week I've had.